60 Minutes Overtime.
Yeah. That's the way it's written. Hello. Well, we're laughing out of a screening. That's a good sign.
How'd it go?
It was good. It's good. That's close to a final piece.
Jeff Fager is the executive producer of 60 Minutes, created in 1968 by Don Hewitt, whose portrait hangs on the wall outside Jeff's office. And Jeff's on the broadcast this week, talking about its 50th anniversary. We asked him to show us around the place.
Yeah, sure. Happy to.
Was this Don Hewitt's office?
Yes. This was Don Hewitt's office, and actually this was Don Hewitt's desk.
Write it, Mike. You know what it is. I don't. Yeah, now you've put Mike.
And I remember coming in here and as a young producer and being a little bit scared.
We're doing it right now.
I remember Don called me down here and he handed me the key right outside the door. And he said, "Good luck, kid." And he left the building. He was an amazing character.
Jeff, can you show us the board?
Yeah, sure. Well, this board is actually forbidden words. It's really just newspeak, and we try to avoid it in all of our stories.
These are the words you cannot use in a story.
Yes. We don't use cliches. We don't use the sort of standard language of reporters. Yeah, I always have clear on that's the first word on there because that's the most overused word.
And what's wrong with clear?
Well, nothing's clear. You know, everything's a little fuzzy. And yet reporters use it all the time. Experts say, officials say, who are they?
Experts.
Yeah, who are they?
Random experts.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
You know, we like to be specific. And this is Bill Owens, who's executive editor of the broadcast.
Working.
Who's pretending to work. This is the board of stories that we're working on now. You can see in a year we do about 100. I don't want to give away too much, but it's just about everything that is in the works. Yeah, this is Steve Kroft's office, and he's actually in it.
Steve, when you moved into this office, Mike Wallace was the person who preceded you, right?
Yep. This is Mike's old office. A lot of history in this room.
It's true, and still probably some blood on the floor from the battles that took place in here.
Did that mean something to you to move into Mike Wallace's office?
I thought it was kind of cool. I was perfectly happy down there at the end, and Jeff wanted me to come down here, so I did, and I think it was nice being next to Morley.
Morley was a great neighbor. Morley was right next door.
Morley's office always looked like it had just been burglarized.
Yeah.
Somebody ransacked it?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Steve.
Okay, good. So let's just walk this way.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Alan Weisman's here.
Alan Weisman's here. Sparky, one of the great producers, worked at 60 Minutes. Katie Spikes, Sharyn Alfonsi. You look so dapper, Sparky.
Isn't he looking sharp?
It's all rented. I got to get it back to 6 o'clock, so.
Sparky produced the Jackie Gleason story, which is one of the classics he did with Morley Safer, one of the great stories.
Tell me something. The Great One, where did that come from?
Well, Orson Welles called me the Great One first. And then Lucy started to call me that. And I'm really not offended by it.
Oh, there's Guy. How was it? Afghanistan.
Afghanistan?
Yeah. You missed Thanksgiving in Afghanistan.
But you know what? Spending Thanksgiving with U.S. troops is not the worst place to be.
That's good. Excellent.
Nicole Young, can you come out for just a quick second?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody.
Having a baby.
Our fearless leader. Yes, I took this baby to Mongolia.
Nicole's
Great
had
stories.
several stories on the broadcast recently, right?
Yes.
Yes.
One was about the famine that is starting to take shape in Yemen, which had an impact because they dropped the blockade.
They did, and
within the week. So this is where editing starts. There are about 15 edit rooms, and a lot of them are going to be working on stories right now. Stephanie's got one. Oh, here they are, the Whitaker Lieberman team working on the story that we just screened. How'd that screening go?
Excellent. Very good.
Very not bad, right?
Much better than the first one.
Yeah, good.
60 Minutes has about 25 teams of people who travel and report stories together and then hunker down in these edit rooms, writing and rewriting their stories.
So maybe it should just be
Thinking you might
but
it changed my life.
But it changed my life.
Right.
Like this team we stumbled on, getting their story in shape for the broadcast.
Michael Gabsha and Dave Levine are just in from, they're based in London for us. And Anderson Cooper. What story is this? This is Donald Sutherland. Patrick Lee, who's editing this story with them.
So is this an example of the team
Yes, it is.
working?
It's the perfect example. Associate producer, correspondent, editor. This is it. This is what it takes to do these stories. And now the trick is just to make sense of it in 13 or 14 minutes. Can you do that?
We're trying.
Anderson, is this a fun part of the process for you, or?
Yeah, it is. It's actually part of the process I have always loved. I mean, there's nothing better than just like being with your team in the edit room and piecing it all together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
See a lot of the pictures on the wall. We like to have the walls kind of filled with some of the history. This is Fred Friendly and Ed Murrow. You see the cigarette in Murrow's hand, and they're the founders, the founding fathers of our organization, CBS News. And Don Hewitt always said he learned more from Fred Friendly than anybody in his whole life. He really taught him everything, and Don then taught it to us.
So let's see the tracking area.
Yeah, so this is it. I can hear Mike Wallace's voice just being in here.
If America attacks Serbia, America will wind up with another Vietnam. It won't be a Gulf War.
Here we come to the 60 Minutes control room, number 33. It's where Walter Cronkite used to do his newscast right down this hall. Hi, Lesley.
Jeff.
Hi. I brought cameras with me today. This is where we really feel like we're on television when you come over here to the control room.
And this is the very end of the process, right?
Right, the very end.
There might have been a whole year of reporting and interviewing that led up to this studio intro.
Yeah, reporting and interviewing and writing and rewriting.
Getting you to approve it.
Getting you to approve it. It's
Isn't
not
always easy.
A lot of fights.
Well, no, a lot of back and forth, a lot of pull and tug. I'll make a point, she'll make a counterpoint. That's the way it works best. So this is the heart of the control room, and Deb DeLuca is the senior broadcast producer who runs it for us. These people in here, Alicia's the director, Peggy's the associate director. They do an amazing job of stitching the program together every single week. You're in someone's living room at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. It's got to feel right.
Is this the place where the IMs happen?
Yes, it is. We started calling them the IMs, I don't know when, but it's when they introduce themselves at the top of the program.
I'm Bill Whitaker.
I'm Lara Logan.
I'm Scott Pelley.
I go out and practice in front of the mirror before they come.
So it's hard to do an IM.
I think it is.
Time to cut, because Lesley went to the floor. Good time to wrap it up, guys.
Hey, Tony.
Hi, Jeff.
How we doing?
We're about to tape.
All right, so Lesley's about to record her studio, which is for the special, 50 Years of 60 Minutes.
Well, okay, here we go, okay.
And you see the blue background, which is, where the art is going to be superimposed.
Just make sure the audio... We're just checking the shot, hold on.
Time to perform.
I'm ready.
Leslie, is it tough to get this just right when you do these studios on camera?
Yeah, it is. And if I don't do it just right, I do it again.
And again.
And again. The teleprompter's right in the camera. I look right into the eye of the camera. That's kind of magical.
The camera is literally 20 feet away, and she's pulling it this way, but it's going that way.
Yeah.
And that's why...
Down is up, right is left, left is right.
Yeah, so it takes a special hand.
Speed 3-8.
Okay, we have speed now.
Okay, here we go, still speeding. And action, Lee.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Don Hewitt's model for 60 Minutes was Life magazine. Back in the day, Life did serious stories and picture essays each week, as well as interviews with movie stars, athletes, and other celebrities. Don figured take two. As well as interviews with movie stars, athletes, and other celebrities. Don figured the mix would work well on television, and he was right.
Okay, that's very nice.
Thank you. It's very dark in here.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
The story will continue after this.
Back in the offices of 60 Minutes,
Hey.
Jeff passes producers working on stories, or sometimes searching for the right story idea.
This is an idea machine, 60 Minutes.
An idea machine.
Yeah, it is. It's a story idea machine. Everybody who works here, ideas come from everywhere.
I've heard you say that everybody is a reporter in
It's
this
true.
place.
And that, 6 or 7 of them happen to be on the air. What were you working on? What story, Argentina?
Seaweed.
Oh, seaweed, that's right.
For you.
Excellent,
Yeah.
can't wait. And this is Bill Owens, whose job is to give me grief, and he does a lot of it.
True.
And he's the executive editor.
So this is the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
What is it going to take to keep this place going for another 50 years?
We could be on another 50 years. I don't know where you're going to watch it 50 years from now. Some form of CBS, hopefully, that you find on some device that you carry around with you, probably.
I'm not sure about 50 years. We take it week by week.
That's a good way to put it. We take it one Sunday at a time, period.
But that's interesting.
That's your end.
That's
it.
No,
You got
that
it.
is,
I heard
but
the
I
clock.
I want to follow that one thing.